It is dusk. By this time tomorrow, it will be 25 hours later. The clocks are being set ahead by an hour, which, let me tell you something, I don't like it. I'd rather like wake up at what they are calling 6 in the morning after whatever daylight savings thing is going on. Right? I'd rather wake up at 5 a.m., which will be actually 6 a.m. like normal, because I'm going to be losing an hour of light at the end of the day. But apparently people don't like, or at least they've convinced themselves that they don't like waking up that early, per se, because of the way the sun goes now, right? It's just like, right now when I wake up, the sun is barely coming up. It's still quasi-dark, and then, within an hour, it's daylight. But I'm much more interested in having that daylight at the end of the day for various reasons. Ooh, ow. Oh, man, did you lose your head? Oh, the deer. I don't know where the hell its head is. Its head must have been fucking pulverized or something. Aye. It's the second dead deer I think I've seen today. I think I saw one on my way up. But anyway, yeah. So I call this freedoms and frustrations, right? I think that because of various spiritual practices and everything else, I think people are looking for this weird specialness that they don't have to earn, and that you're just not free if you have to work for a living and operate on a functioning schedule or whatever. And I don't know if people are just thinking to themselves that it's like I think that it's all kind of like a communist trap, which is why it'll have its pitfalls if you were ever to, quote, get it, which was like this whole, like, kind of, we're talking kind of about free money in a respect, right? Where you've got, like, all this income that comes from, like, a particular thing you did that feeds back to you, whatever, right? But, I think that there's literally nothing special about any of this shit. Go on, you might as well. You ran out of lane. You don't even put your merger. I don't know why people don't use their fucking signal lights anymore. People don't put on their hazards. They don't fucking signal to make a turn just because it seems obvious, like running out of on-ramp. And I'm just like, what are you doing, buddy? Are you gonna slow down so I pass you? Because technically I have right of way, right? But no, you're just gonna do that, and I'm gonna have to slow down for you. Anyway. A lot of people are complaining that they are not free and that freedom is something that has to be triggered by an existential event, and requires no sacrifice or risk on your part. Mostly because they don't want to disappoint people in their world that they would rather have in their world. Which kind of gets back to how a lot of our system functions, where you don't want to be a disappointment to your family. You don't want to kill your family, right? Because people will shame you, will guilt you into feeling like you are killing your mother, your grandmother, or whatever, because you are a horribly disobedient person. You don't pay your taxes, and you run the risk of being thrown in jail or something like that, right? Like me. I'll tell you straight up, I'm at risk. I'm at threat based on what people seem to understand or believe based on what I do, right? Because the only taxes I pay are the literal voluntary taxes, such as I bought gas and there's a tax on the gas, right? And here's the thing, you're not really paying that tax anyway, right? So when people say, oh, you pay, oh yeah, you went, you bought at the store, you paid that, it's just like, listen, that's just a line item on the cost. You're actually not giving any money to the government. You're giving money to the company you bought the shit from, and they're telling you how much of that money they are paying in taxes. That's on them, not on you. If you want to go find a business that doesn't pay taxes, you're going to have to work through a private word-of-mouth situation that doesn't have any investment in it whatsoever. It's going to be like one or two people kind of thing, right? It's like finding your fucking drug dealer. It's the difference between your drug dealer versus your fucking smoke shop, right? I live in Connecticut. Thanks to my fucking efforts when I wasn't an anarchist, when I was fucking lobbying my state, we're legal now. And I wasn't lobbying for legal back then. Back then, it was a pipe dream to be legal. This was like 2010. This was an argument just for decrim and for medical, right? Both of those having more altruistic ends. And when I made my fucking testimony in Hartford, I was also fucking honest how I stood there saying, yeah, I'd like to see legal one day. Because, yeah, I'm going to confess right now, I'm guilty of the crime of fucking indulging in this stuff, not because of a medical issue, but just because I enjoy it. It feels right to me. It causes literally no harm. It actually makes things better for me in ways that are hard to explain. And I'd like to see us get there one day. This is me in my game, right? Forgot I gotta go hit the ATM over here. And the way that this works is that you are telling someone, I don't care if you're bluffing or not. I'm not even calling your bluff. I'm just doing what I want because what you're doing is wrong. If you want to do wrong unto me, I may fail, but I can live with myself because I did not do the wrong of giving you the satisfaction of my surrender. I take that risk. Do I take that risk if I have children? That's something I'm going to have to figure out. That's something that is not my decision alone. It depends on how love manifests, right? Values, so on and so forth, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm going to want to have various sorts of autonomy over children that I have. And then you ask yourself what those prices are and how you function with the threats of them in that respect. But at the end of the day, it's that's going to be what it is. You know? I don't expect them to fucking care when I fucking look at some judge in the face or whatever and I say, like, no, you shouldn't be fucking taxing me. Fuck you. Right? It's just, you know, and it's not even fuck him. I wouldn't even say fuck him. Not because I'm trying to get out of fucking problems for myself, but just because it literally, he's just a fucking guy in a fucking function that's part of a greater system he is choosing to perform for. Right? And so all I have to do is fucking assert the karma of the situation. Telling him exactly what's up with me and who I am and where I live and how I live and all that shit. And telling him, if you actually think that I should be fucking taxed because of X, Y, and Z fucking things I do with my life and things that I don't ask for from my fucking state, because I'm trying to take care of myself so I'm not a dependent on you, then what the fuck are you going to do? All you're doing is trying to bleed me dry. So, you know what? No, I'm not going to fucking pay this. I'm not going to fucking even go on a pay schedule. You're going to put me in fucking jail. All right? Because if you insist that I owe you fucking money, then I can't fucking afford to live in your world anyway. But I can afford to live in your jail. And let's go through that hell because you want to do that to me. Sure. Why not? Okay? Like at the very least you do, like, nobody fucking does that. Nobody fucking does that because nobody actually wants to be free. They want someone else to make them free. There's a big difference. And nobody wants to have that on them because that requires proactively breaking the world. And it's not worth it to break the world for other people. I break the world for me. Right? This means, you know, I do the things I gotta do. I go to fucking work. I fucking put my time in at work. You know, I sacrifice my personal non-income generated me time, right? At a certain point, a loveliness of making money on the internet or something like that could happen, right? You know, the Zeralath Shreds channel gets good, maybe, who knows. I start the reading channel, the psychic reading channel, and, you know, my tarot rune readings take off, maybe. Who knows? I don't expect to make money on this channel, because this channel, I might want to talk about Jews and niggers, and not because I hate them or discriminate against them, but just because I had to say nigger or cunt or fuck or assholes or faggot. So I'm not gonna make money here. Here is a principle of fuck you. Here's a principle of free speech. Here's a principle of saying terrible words out of context. Or even in context, but you don't fucking understand the context because you just think I have instigated hate crime. Or that I've instigated the dehumanization of someone else because I wanted to say that word right now in a fucking sentence. Right? So that's life. And I find more happiness, more freedom, less frustration, being my authentic self. Whether that means you believe that I'm a racist because I just wanted to say I wanted to talk about Jews and niggers and faggots. Dykes and cunts and spicks and gooks and... Can I throw all the bad words in here? This channel hasn't had a right and proper fucking community guidelines strike yet. All right, I'll catch you guys later.